All throughout our lives, we have seen different kinds of animals around us. They may be small or big, light or heavy, or even domesticated or wild. Animals that exist today are vast. That is why scientists group them into categories for us to understand them fully. Hey City Buddies, it's Reine. Come join me in our lesson for today as we explore the part 3 of the types of animals. Types of animals. In the previous video, we learned that animals are living organisms that need food and water to live. We also learned that there are 6 types of animals. These are mammals, birds, fish, reptiles, amphibians, and invertebrates. Fish are vertebrates that live in water. They breathe using their gills. There are 2 types of fishes, saltwater fishes and freshwater fishes. Saltwater fish are fish that live in ocean water. They lose large quantities of internal body fluids through their gills because of osmosis. Here are the examples. Anglerfish. Have you ever heard of the hideous fish that enjoys swimming in the lonely and lifeless bottom of the ocean? If you don't, then let me introduce you to the anglerfish, which inhabits a part of the ocean that is 200 meters below the surface. The physical characteristics of an anglerfish includes having a huge head, an enormous crescent-shaped mouth, translucent sharp teeth, and dark gray to brown in color. Some species of anglerfish could grow up to 3.3 feet in length, and they are located in the depths of the Atlantic and Antarctic Ocean. Surprisingly, an anglerfish can swallow prey that is twice its size. The most distinctive feature of anglerfish is probably its piece of dorsal spine that protrudes above their mouths like a fishing rod that has an esca or a luminous flesh. Sadly, this feature is only worn by females. Did you know that a female anglerfish borrows bioluminescence to attract and capture prey? That's right! The light that they produce belongs to the photobacterium, or the tiny glowing bacteria that take up residence in the anglerfish's esca. In exchange for the help that the bacteria gives, it gains protection and nutrients as the female anglerfish swims in the most inhospitable habitat in the ocean. Clownfish. You've probably watched Finding Nemo when you were a kid, and you were aware that the main characters, Nemo and his father, are both clownfishes. So, let's discover some of the interesting things about a clownfish. A clownfish, also known as clown anemone fish, are bright orange with 3 distinctive white bars. They can reach up to 4.3 inches in length, and they inhabit multicolored sea anemones. Before inhabiting a specific anemone, a clownfish performs an elaborate dance with it by gently touching its tentacles with different parts of its body until it is acclimated with its host. Good thing, a clownfish is filled with a layer of mucus on its skin, serving as immunity against the fish-eating anemone's lethal sting. The sea anemone serves as a haven for a clownfish against predators and food scraps, and in return, the clownfish drives off intruders and removes the parasites in its host. The 30 known species of clownfish live in the shallow waters of the Indian Ocean, Red Sea, and Western Pacific. Did you know that clownfish are hermaphrodites? A clownfish is born male, and to become the dominant female of the group, it can switch its sex, which is irreversible. Meaning, once they change into a female clownfish, they cannot turn back. Flying fish. One of the most interesting types of fish that jumps out of the warm ocean waters to escape their prey is the flying fish. They are well known for their ability to glide through the air, which makes it seem like they are flying, by using their large wing-like pectoral fins. And they also have a streamlined torpedo-shaped body, an evenly forked tail, and enlarged pelvic fins. So how does their gliding ability work? This process begins by gaining great velocity underwater for about 37 miles per hour, wherein their bodies are angling upward, and the flying fish then breaks the surface and rapidly beats its tail while still beneath the ocean. Afterward, it takes flight into the air, and once it nears the surface again, it can flap its tail and fins without fully returning to the water. Flying fish are known to hunt during the night, and like other sea creatures, they are usually very sensitive and easily attracted to light, which makes them vulnerable against fishermen luring them with light to guide them towards their ships for captivation. At present, there are about 40 different species of flying fish that live in the tropical and subtropical Atlantic, Indian, and the Pacific Ocean. Did you know that a flying fish can reach the height of 4 feet in the air and can glide a distance of 655 feet before returning to the water? That's right, and they also have been recorded to stretch out their flights by gliding consecutively spanning distances up to 1,312 feet.
Seahorse.
Seahorses are probably one of the few animal species wherein the male bears the unborn young. Aside from this, they are also unique in appearance, that they seem to resemble a horse's face, but they belong to the fish category. Seahorses live all over the world, not just in the tropic regions, but they also inhabit the cold waters of eastern Canada, the UK, and New Zealand. The physical characteristics of a seahorse include a horse-like head, eyes that move independently, long tubular snout, toothless mouth, a body covered with rings of bony plates, a brood pouch, and a prehensile tail. Surprisingly, a seahorse does not have a stomach. They are about 14 inches in length, and because they lack teeth, they suck on a variety of sea creatures, which include little shrimps, fishes, planktons, and fish larvae. Did you know that seahorses are camouflage ninjas? That's right! They can change their color and grow little lumps and bumps all over their bodies to match their surroundings. And some species have little spines on top of their heads that is called a coronet or a crown. Also, seahorses have a big appetite. Despite being small in size, they can eat up to 3,000 brine shrimps per day.
Stingray.
Stingrays are found all over the world and usually inhabits the shallow coastal waters of temperate seas. A stingray has a flattened body, eyes peering out from its dorsal side, while its mouth containing jaw teeth, nostrils, and gills are located on its underbelly. It also has pectoral fins joined to its head and trunk, plus its tail, also known as a stingray spine or barb, contains serrated edges, a sharp point, and it produces a venom which can be fatal to humans. And just like sharks, a stingray has electrical sensors known as ampullae of Lorenzini that can be found all over its mouth, which is useful in sensing the natural electrical charges of potential prey. Stingrays are practically inactive creatures, and they spend most of their time partially buried in the sand. And their movement resembles that of a wave because they flap their sides like wings, and even though its sail is used primarily for self-defense, it can also serve assistance in maneuvering in the water. Although a dead stingray cannot cause you harm, its tail can still be harmful but not necessarily deadly, especially if a stingray's spine is erect when it died. It can still cause damage if another person will be using it to hit somebody in the chest or abdominal area, because if you will be struck by it and then pull it out, it can result to massive tearing of tissue, which will eventually lead to death. And shark. Great white sharks are the world's largest predatory fish, which is about 15 to 20 feet in length, weighing up to 5,000 pounds. They are found throughout Australia, California, northeastern United States, and South Africa. Some of the physical characteristics of a great white shark include a bullet-shaped body, gray skin, white belly, powerful tail, and its mouth has several rows of 300 serrated triangular teeth. It also has an organ that is used for detecting tiny electromagnetic fields produced by animals, plus an exceptional sense of smell because of its organ called the olfactory bulb, which they use to detect blood. Did you know that great white sharks can detect even a single drop of blood in 25 gallons of water? The National Geographic claimed that they can sense the slightest amount of raw blood even if they are 3 miles away from it. Freshwater fish are those that spend some or all of their lives in rivers and lakes. They have gills that function to diffuse water while ensuring bodily fluids remain inside them. Here are the examples of freshwater fish. Arowana. Asian arowanas live across Southeast Asia and Indonesia. They are considered as osteoglossiformes, which means that most of their teeth are located on the roof of their mouths and thumbs. These bony-tongued fishes also possess tiny barbels, acting as sensors on the bottom of their mouths, and large scales that serve as their shield against predators. Because of their gigantic scales and red coloration, arowanas are dubbed as dragonfishes that can grow up to 3 feet long. Did you know that Asian arowanas are dubbed as Asia's favorite fish? That's right! Arowanas are used as a status symbol for Asian elite families, making them the most expensive aquatic creatures that can cost up to $300,000. While, if you are planning to purchase a less expensive arowana, in Singapore, you can buy a young arowana for $300. But if you prefer the rare white albino arowanas, then it will cost you about $70,000 or more. Aside from this, there have been rumors that arowanas sacrifice their lives and jump out of their fish tanks to warn their owners who are in danger. That is why a lot of individuals believe that they bring good luck, especially in business ventures. Electric eel. Electric eels have a serpentine appearance that is 8 feet in size and weighs about 44 pounds, and they naturally live in the ponds of Amazon and South America. They are dark green or grayish in color, having flattened heads and cylindrical bodies that are filled with electric organs with over 6,000 electrolytes that store power, similar to small batteries. Electric eels have a poor eyesight, but they can locate their prey through the use of the radar, simply by emitting a low-level charge which is equivalent to less than 10 volts. Surprisingly, electric eels are air breathers, and they frequently come out of the water's surface to survive. But despite having all of these physical characteristics, an electric eel is not classified as one of the species of eels, because its scientific classification is closer to a carp and catfish. Did you know that electric eels can produce shocks of up to 600 volts? They are also capable of knocking down a horse off its feet. Goldfish. Goldfishes have no scales on their heads, lacking barbels on their upper jaws and teeth. They have large eyes, great senses of smell and hearing, stocky bodies, 2 sets of paired fins, and 3 single fins. They are commonly kept in aquatic aquariums worldwide, but they originated from China. In the wild, goldfishes can be found in slow-moving lakes, ponds, and rivers. Did you know that goldfishes are not always gold? Yup, their body coloration can have a wide variety of colors, including black, brown, orange, red, white, and yellow. Koi. The next on the list of freshwater fishes are the koi. Koi fish originated from Eastern Asia, and they are believed to be intellectual species, for they can recognize the person who feeds them, and just like cats and dogs, they can also be trained to feed directly from the hand of their owner. They can grow up to 3 feet long, and they have really sensitive skin types, and are very susceptible to sunburn. That is why they need to be kept in well-shaded and deep water. On average, the lifespan of a koi can reach up to 70 years. In Japan, koi fish are passed down from generation to generation as a family heirloom. The colors of a koi have different meanings. A gold koi fish represents wealth and prosperity. On the other hand, a metallic koi is a symbolism of success in business. An ASAGI koi, which is a combination of blue, red, and gray, symbolizes positivity, while a black koi holds a patriarchal symbolism. The red koi is believed to belong to the mother. A blue koi brings serenity and it symbolizes the sun. And the symbolism of a daughter is a pink koi. Did you know that the longest living freshwater fish ever recorded is a koi fish? That's right. Her name is Hanako, which means flower girl in Japanese. Hanako is a scarlet-colored female koi who was born in 1751 and died at the age of 226 years old on July 7, 1977, making her not just the oldest koi, but also the longest living freshwater fish. So, how did they verify the age of Hanako? Well, it is done by counting the number of growth rings on her scale that showed various patterns of wide growth rings followed by narrow growth rings. And this technique is quite similar to how dendrologists determine the age of a tree, which is done by counting the number of rings on its wood.
Milkfish.
A milkfish that is famously known in the Philippines as bangus has an elongated shaped body that is silver in color. It lacks teeth, but it is an extremely bony creature that can grow up to 3 feet long. But some milkfish can reach up to 6 feet in length. It is considered an important fish in Southeast Asia, and it is one of the world's most significant farm fish, which is usually produced in Indonesia and the Philippines. Fun fact: milkfish or bangus is considered as the national fish of the Philippines.
Piranha.
You've probably seen piranhas in movies, and they are usually portrayed as ferocious fishes that can devour a whole creature to the bones in an instant, using their jaws filled with rows of saw-like interlocking teeth. But the reputation given to them seems to be a little bizarre in real life. Although piranhas naturally live in the Amazon, they have been inhabiting freshwater systems in some parts of the world, including South America. They have varieties of color forms and can grow for up to 2 feet. Not all species of piranhas are carnivorous. Some are vegetarians, and only the red-bellied piranhas eat meat and can consume up to 2.46 grams per day. Did you know that piranhas are very orderly creatures? That's right. They are known as nippers, which means that they feed their prey by shearing off a single chunk of flesh, and they move aside to give other piranhas the chance to bite their prey. And because they do not care whom they bite, they sometimes take bites out of each other. And this feeding behavior does not resemble the things that are shown in the movies, because that is truly exaggerated. Another amazing fact about piranhas is that they bark. According to Rodney Roundtree, a marine biologist and an expert in fish sound production, piranhas are extremely noisy neighbors, and they make different types of noises, one of which includes a distinctive barking that is produced by squeezing their swim bladders in different shapes. He discovered this when he placed a mic underwater while studying the different vocalizations in the Amazon basin in Peru. So how about a dolphin and a whale? Are they considered as species of fish? Both of them are not, because they are mammals. Just like every mammal, both of them are warm-blooded creatures, and they breathe through their lungs, unlike fishes who use their gills to breathe. They also use their blowhole on top of their heads when they take frequent trips on the surface of the water to catch their breaths. Both species also give birth to live young instead of laying eggs, and they feed them with milk. Plus, they have hairs in their bodies, even if it is barely visible. Some of the aquatic creatures that are also mammals include manatee, porpoise, seal, and walrus.
That's it for the part 3 of the types of animals. See you soon, study buddies. Bye!
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you want to watch more of our videos, click here.